Good Wednesday evening, October 9th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. On Monday, Chelan County PUD commissioners discussed the possible removal of the 70-year-old building on the former 5th Street campus. U.S. Representative Dan Newhouse introduced a congressional bill last week to oversee post office mail handling in areas like Wenatchee, where services are set to consolidate. Seasonal weather is on tap through Friday, with above normal temperatures expected this weekend. All the details straight ahead in your full local weather forecast. The Wenatchee girls slow pitch softball team played and won their first games on the new softball complex at Triangle Park. Wenatchee beat Davis 19-8 and then 8-7 in a doubleheader on the new turf field on Tuesday. Friends and families watched the game from temporary bleachers after a series of setbacks delayed the field's completion by 2 months. The field is still without a scoreboard and permanent bleachers, though those features are scheduled to arrive this month, and the planned ribbon cutting will be moved to spring when the field is complete. The $4.1 million field resolved a Title IX complaint from 2022 that alleged unequal treatment of male and female athletes in the district. On Monday, Chelan County PUD commissioners discussed the possible removal of the 70-year-old building on the former 5th Street campus. The PUD moved into its new building at Old Station last October and struck a deal with the YMCA for them to build a new facility towards the back section of the 5th Street campus. However, the question has remained of what's to come for the building that remains on the property. In Monday's meeting, PUD staff proposed setting aside $3.5 million in the 2025 budget to potentially demolish the building to create a construction-ready site. Commissioners will decide whether to remove the building and surplus the Wenatchee Avenue parcels in 2025. The Washington State Tree Fruit Association, which gathers data and statistics on annual tree fruit crops, says the 2024 pear harvest will be the smallest crop in the last 40 years, resulting in lower revenue for orchardists. NCWLIFE's Casey Safford spoke with Tree Fruit Association President John Devaney about the factors that have caused this reduction.
We had some very cold weather this last January that did a lot of damage to our pear crop, especially in the Wenatchee Valley up here in north central Washington. Our total pear crop for the Pacific Northwest, and most of the nation's pears are from Oregon and Washington. Washington is the #1 pear producing state in the nation. Our crop is forecast to be down about 30% from the 5-year average. So a lot fewer pears. And in the north central Washington region, it's down about 50%. So most of that loss was coming here in north central Washington, where we're going to have about the smallest pear crop we've had in 40 years.
Can you tell our viewers a little bit more about how cold weather can affect a pear crop?
As you have buds developing, that really cold weather can do severe damage to them so that you don't have blossoms form. We also had a supplemental cold snap in April, which did further damage to those forming fruitlets. That meant that some of the fruit that did develop ended up having some cosmetic marking on it, some frost rings, which, though the fruit is still perfectly edible, it doesn't look as attractive, and that meant that it's not going to get the returns that our growers were hoping for. And in some cases, that means that some orchards were not worth harvesting, because if you had a small crop of low value fruit, essentially, because it is marked down by the consumer if it looks less attractive, meant that it may not have been economically worth harvesting.
Taking into account the struggles of this year's harvest, what is next year looking like?
We're hopeful that we'll get a little more stable weather and there will not be that same kind of damage. The initial look at bud development is favorable. Looks like the 2025 crop could be good, but that's still a struggle for a lot of growers. They have multiple fiscal years they're dealing with any given time because their fruit gets harvested and then sold over many months out of storage. And so a smaller crop, even if they had some insurance payments, means they're not going to get the same kind of income they were hoping for to prepare for next year. That kind of credit crunch on growers at a time when they're seeing their total cost of production rise very rapidly is a real struggle.
Tell us, is there anything that Valley residents can do to help support pear orchardists during this time?
They can eat pears. With the smaller crop, growers who had a marketable crop are happy to see the prices going up a bit. Consumers should not be put off by that. They should still be buying Northwest pears.
On Tuesday, the North Central Washington Tech Alliance announced the finalists for the 23rd Annual Innovator Awards Luncheon. The Innovator Awards celebrate the innovators and entrepreneurs of North Central Washington. The luncheon will take place at the Wenatchee Convention Center on November 5th, where 5 organizations and individuals will be presented with awards. Nominations for each category were collected over the summer, and then the final 15 were selected by a volunteer committee comprised of business and education leaders, as well as past award winners. Finalists for this year include individuals from Ward Media, Wenatchee High School, Field Clock, and more. When we come back, State Senator Judy Warnick is lamenting the Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction for stalling funds related to seismic upgrades. It's the last weekend to visit one of Chelan County's most scenic spots. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hi, this is Brad Hawkins, and I'm running to be your next Chelan County Commissioner. I'm very proud to have grown up in Wenatchee, and now to be raising a family of my own here. From Washington Elementary to Washington State Capitol, I've gained valuable experiences in my life and career, and I look forward to bringing it to the county. Serving as a county commissioner is a complex job. We need and deserve a proven, experienced leader. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
In Digital Media Arts program, we learn about video production gear and editing by the combination of class projects and nonprofit work and employment.
It makes things happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
We work in the industry at the Wenatchee Round, NCWLIFE channel, and the Town Toyota Center events. Every day we work with industry standard equipment for a hands-on learning experience.
Do you hate getting called by Medicare telemarketers? Well, this October, your phone is going to be ringing off the hook because we will be experiencing a huge Medicare change. Now, for the last 20 years, Springwater Insurance has been helping those of you on Medicare. So just say no to those telemarketers by not answering their ads. Instead, call a local agent like Springwater Insurance, who's been helping for 20 years. So give us a call at Springwater. We can meet at one of our 5 offices or give us a call.
State Senator Judy Warnick is lamenting the Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction for stalling funds related to seismic upgrades. The funding was intended to upgrade school buildings from around the state to protect the buildings from earthquakes. The capital budget allocated $140 million to address the seismic upgrades, but Warnick's office said the accounting report to the legislature showed OSPI only spent over $1 million to date. Warnick said she learned about the issue from a news article about a school district in Grays Harbor that needs those upgrades. She went on the State Senate GOP podcast to explain what she'd like OSPI to do about the funding.
If there's others that need to be done, then we need OSPI to help that happen. If not, we're going to have to go back and figure out why that money's not being spent. And if we have to, we're going to have to force OSPI to spend that money, because $140 million is a lot of money. And if they can figure out a way, not figure out a way, just do it, help those school districts spend that money and protect our children.
It's the last weekend to visit one of Chelan County's most scenic spots. Ohme Gardens County Park will close to public access next week. The 9-acre park on the slopes above the Columbia River has been planted and landscaped over time to include alpine meadows and stands of evergreen. The Ohme family began developing the land more than 90 years ago and in 1991 deeded it over to the state of Washington and later the county as a public tourist attraction. The last day of operations at Ohme Gardens for this season is next Tuesday, October 15th. U.S. Representative Dan Newhouse introduced a congressional bill last week to oversee post office mail handling in areas like Wenatchee, where services are set to consolidate. The bill from the 4th District Republican would prevent the U.S. Postal Service from closing small and rural post offices, citing the effects on the speed and efficiency of mail handling. The Postal Service announced last November that most residential mail originating from Wenatchee will soon be processed in Spokane. Similar changes are in store for Yakima mail users, with mail handling shifted to Seattle. The Newhouse bill would additionally prevent the USPS from implementing mail processing changes during an election year when mail service is crucial to returning ballots. Coming up next, the next election won't just determine who your state legislators are, it will also determine where the seat of power lies in Washington's 12th district. More coming up in tonight's feature story. Normal early fall weather is expected through Friday with warmer temperatures on the way this weekend. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Mike Steele, and I've been honored to serve you as our state representative for District 12 for the last 8 years. With experience in several leadership roles in civic organizations, as well as being a lifelong resident, I've championed projects that have made a difference in our community. I plan to continue the progress we've made together.
Re-elect Mike Steele, your voice in Olympia. Together we can achieve more. Visit votemikesteele.com. Paid for by the citizens to elect Mike Steele.
I'm Keith Gaynor, running to be your next 12th District State Senator. It has been a privilege to serve you the past 6 years in the House of Representatives. I believe public safety is a critical issue that affects all of Washington. This should be one of our highest priorities. Washington families are struggling. Housing, food, and gas prices are severely affecting our budgets. We need to find better ways to support our families. Together, we can build a better Washington.
At Abby's, it's kind of simple. We're not rocket scientists. We just make great pizza. When you're ready for traditional values, time with your family, and a great meal, you're invited to Abby's. Order at abbys.com. Our family is here for your family. It's fall. Want a great value that doesn't involve pumpkin spice? Try Abby's Barbecue Chicken Pizza. Save and enjoy a pizza with loads of quality toppings to the edge. Your taste buds and your wallet will thank you. Enjoy Abby's October Special at a very special price.
We in Northeast Washington are proud of our small town heritage, but Olympia's one-size-fits-all policies have made life here more difficult. I'm former Mayor Suing Moody, and for the past 13 years, I fought for the needs of the people of Twisp in the face of disaster. Now, I'm looking to bring my record of strong leadership to Olympia as your state representative, to preserve the way of life our families have enjoyed here for generations. I'm Suing Moody, and I'm asking for your vote, because we shouldn't have to give up anything to live here, and we won't.
In tonight's features story, the next election won't just determine who your state legislators are, it will also determine where the seat of power lies in Washington's 12th district. For decades, its legislators have overwhelmingly hailed from the Wenatchee Valley. That was before the district was redrawn this year, separating East Wenatchee into the 7th district and expanding, including Western Washington communities like Monroe, Salton, and North Bend. Heather Colin, a Democratic candidate for the State House, hails from North Bend. She faces Republican candidate Brian Burnett, the former Chelan County Sheriff, for the open seat in November. You can watch our full interview with both candidates right after this newscast. Here's a preview.
So my name's Heather Colin. I am a registered nurse at Harborview Medical Center for the past 21 years in the intensive care unit. I'm also a city council member for the city of North Bend on my second term, which I find very meaningful. I am running on affordable housing, education, and protecting women's reproductive health rights. And I'm very excited to run for the 12th, and I hope I have an opportunity to win.
First of all, I'm married to my wife, April, of 37 years. We have 7 kids and just had our 10th grandchild. Born and raised in Chelan County. Former Chelan County Sheriff, did 3 terms, 12 years, and my whole career in law enforcement with the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. Little leadership positions. I was the past president for WASPC, which is the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. I'm also the past president for the Washington State Sheriff's Association, and I was appointed by Governor Inslee to the Criminal Justice Training Commission.
As a legislator, potential legislator, what do you think is the most important issue facing the 12th District right now? 2 minutes for your answer.
No doubt public safety, dangerous drugs, mental health, the homelessness, and affordable housing. Obviously the economy and different things like that. One of the big passions that I have is to support our small businesses, because I think they're the heartbeat of our communities. That's what shapes and forms the communities that people want to decide where they want to raise their families. So that quality of life wrapped around public safety and the criminal justice programs.
And Heather, from your perspective, the most important issue you think is facing the 12th District right now?
I would agree. I would say affordability for our citizens, having a proper income and an affordable place to live. I do agree with public safety and giving our people the tools they need, firefighters and the police and the sheriff. And by that I mean the equipment and the training, all the things they need to keep us safe. Homelessness is a huge issue throughout all of Washington State and the country. And so having services that we can provide for them to get them into homes, off of the drugs, help them with the mental health issues, that all comes together. And for the education piece, making sure that all the kids have equal opportunity to get a very good education, regardless of where you live or what your economic status is.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic Wednesday. Nice and mild out there, although we did see plenty of cloud cover throughout the morning and into our afternoon, with some clearing late in the day. Also some breezy conditions at times. This is our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi Tower camera looking over the beautiful Wenatchee Valley. But still, our early fall weather is pretty darn nice, and that will continue. Today's high temperature, unofficially, 68 degrees, just 3 degrees above where we should be for this time of year at 65. Our record high, 79 degrees, and that was set back in 2014. We started off at 52 this morning, way above where we should be for a normal low at 44, and our record 30, and that was set in 2019. Sunrise 7:12, and it sets this evening at 6:23. Getting you into those Thursday temperatures, things will continue a slow cool down, pretty much back to where we should be for this time of year. 66s in the Columbia Basin for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. Wenatchee, we will be just a tad cooler at 65. Entiat at 65. High temperature in Leavenworth tomorrow, a very mild 64 degrees. Tonight, we can expect mostly clear skies thanks to this area of high pressure that's continuing to keep us clear and pretty much seasonal here in the Pacific Northwest. We'll see lows very chilly tonight, down to around 40 degrees. For your Thursday, mostly sunny. It will be a little bit cooler. We're seeing a north flow of air into Washington State. That'll cool us down back to normal with highs on Thursday in the mid-60s. And then high pressure to our south is slowly moving up the coastline. It's going to bring partly cloudy skies. Mainly we'll see cloudiness from this large area of low pressure. A little bit warmer to end our work week on Friday with highs in the upper 60s. And then this weekend, fantastic weather, a big ridge of high pressure up and over the Pacific Northwest. And look at all of those clear skies. We're going to see highs on Saturday in the low 70s, which will be about 7 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. Even better as we get you into the end of the weekend on Sunday, sunny and warmer with high temperatures in the mid-70s, high pressure to our north, and then that anchoring high pressure to our south, and it's bringing up that warmer southerly air. That's that's going to continue as we kick off our next work week as well. Sunny and warm on Monday. High temperatures way above normal into the mid-70s. And how about more of the same as we get you into Tuesday? I think we'll see a few more clouds on Tuesday. Once again, the ridge is still up and over the Pacific Northwest, but a few clouds will come through as a weak cold front also slides across southern Canada. Still nice for us, though, with high temperatures in the low 70s. Here's your 7-day forecast now. 41 overnight tonight. Mostly sunny, cooler tomorrow, 65. Get ready for another cool overnight on Thursday, too. And then partly cloudy and seasonal on Friday and 68. And then I'll tell you, Saturday right through Tuesday, a mix of clouds and sun, but more sun than clouds with high temperatures in the low to mid 70s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
And a good Wednesday to you. The Seattle Kraken's game yesterday at Climate Pledge Arena was a game of many firsts. It was the first game of the NHL season. It was the first game under new head coach Dan Bylsma. It was also the first time a female has been an assistant coach behind the bench in the NHL. Jessica Campbell became the first to do so for the Kraken yesterday. As far as the game went, well, Seattle fell 3-2 despite holding a 2-goal lead at one point. Postgame was full of lament about the opener not going the way they wanted to by Vince Dunn and captain Jordan Eberle.
I mean, there's a lot to learn from every game. I think having the gap between the next few games here, we got to look back and see where we went wrong. There was a lot of good tonight. And it's even hard for me to say that losing 3-2 when you're up by 2. So first one's out of the way. We got 81 more opportunities to play well, and there's no doubt in my mind we'll bounce back from this one.
Obviously pretty honored to be a captain in this league. It's pretty special. So I like to think that our group, we have a lot of good leaders. I mean, we've done it for years. We've got a lot of guys who've got cups, guys who have playoff experience, and to be a part of this group is special, and to be named it. I mean, my family and I, we love this city. We love the culture here, and that's a big part of why we wanted to be here. So tonight was special. Obviously not the result we wanted. Saw a lot of good. Saw a sleepy 4 minutes, but I think that all in all, it was. I thought we played a pretty good 56 minutes, and then 4 minutes killed us.
Dan, aside from the result of the game, you're standing there next to Jessica during pregame intros. I'm wondering what you were thinking as she was introduced and got the reaction that she did.
I was waiting to see if my reaction, the reaction to me was going to be as loud. It wasn't. I think there are moments as we start this season for all of us that are first, and Ebbs being a captain, I think it's long overdue. It's great to see him step on the ice as a captain for our team. Shane Wright, he's got a journey and he's stepping on the ice for, now presenting himself as a full-time NHLer. It's great for him, and, I don't think it can be overlooked. It's Jessica Campbell being a coach, a female coach in the National Hockey League for the first time. It's great for her, great for the game.
Seattle has some time off before they head to Minnesota to take on the Wild Saturday at 5 o'clock. And I was in air yesterday saying the games are not available unless they're broadcast nationally other than online. Kong TV out of Seattle will be broadcasting Saturday's game and many other Kraken games this season. Local Tel subscribers, that's Channel 2. Well, the Seahawks continue their short turnaround week to host the 49ers tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football. Seattle comes into the game having lost 2 straight, while San Francisco has lost 2 of 3. Coach Mike McDonald was informed several 49er players are considering tomorrow night's game a must-win. He says, well, the way he looks at it, they're all must-win.
I thought the guys did a tremendous job. They deserve a lot of credit. We've had a couple spirited walkthrough type workouts, practices, mesh of all the above, and when we're ready to go, we'll meet again briefly tomorrow morning, and off we go. Every game's a must-win. That's our mentality. Every practice is a must-win practice, and then anytime you can go, tee it up for real, there's always a sense of urgency to do whatever it takes to win the game. I understand their position, but we're in a similar one as well. Again, it's early in the season, but every game is critically important.
Going back to last Sunday's loss against the Giants, offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb is taking the blame for the offensive imbalance, saying Seattle needs to run the ball more.
Got to get the ball to Ken more. And I think we had plenty of run game in the plan. Didn't have anything to do with not having enough calls for that, just didn't get called. And for us, we leaned on the wrong thing, and I think if we get Ken 10 more touches, 15 more touches, things are going to look different. So that's 100% on me, and my job is to make sure I get all our guys in the best position possible to win the game, and I didn't do that.
DK Metcalf has had 2 crucial fumbles during Seattle's drives the past 2 weeks. Grubb was asked if that's been an emphasis in practice.
DK knows all things to do. He certainly does, and ball security does mean something to him. He practices it in practice, and it wasn't like the ball was flying out loose right there. I think one of the things with a guy like DK is he is a person that struggles for that extra yard, and he fights very, very hard to get that, which only prolongs the opportunity for the ball to come out. And he's in a really vulnerable position where a lot of players are coming in and take shots, and he knows that. So he knows he's at risk of that. But, he typically does a pretty good job in traffic of locking the wrist and tightening it up. And, that's not something you have to overcoach. You see it in practice, right away that he's really trying to focus on those things.
The Seahawks and Niners kick off tomorrow at 5:15 at Lumen Field. The only way to watch the game is on Amazon Prime Video. It is not available on television. There was plenty of prep soccer around the region last night. The Prosser Mustangs blank Quincy and CWAC played 3-0. Ephrata also came up short in its game against Sela, falling to the Vikings 6-0. Kashmir pitched another shutout in SCAC play, downing Wahluke 7-0. Cascade dominated Omak and CTL play 5-1. Tonasket stopped Chelan 1-0. Okanagan got by Brewster 3-2. Lake Roosevelt rolled Oroville 9-2. Bridgeport beat Liberty Bell 2-1. Pateras topped Manson by a final of 4-0. It's been since the Sundome Volleyball Festival that Wenatchee has lost a set, but it happened again last night on the road in Western Washington. The Panthers still came out on top 3-1 in a victory at Lake Stevens. Ephrata swept Quincy in 3 sets. Kashmir also a 3-set winner over Wahluke. That was for the larger schools. For the small schools last night, Okanagan overcame Lake Roosevelt 3-1. Omak took care of Tonasket 3-0. Brewster beat Bridgeport 3-0. Pateras swept Thorpe in 3 sets. Entiat eased by Easton 3-0. So Blake stopped Garden City Academy 3-0. And Waterville Mansfield came out in a classic top Moses Lake Christian 3-2. While the 4-1 Eastmont Wildcats host the 1-4 Eisenhower Cadets in Big 9 football on Friday night at Wildcat Stadium, and NCWLIFE channel will be there to televise it. Join yours truly and Grant Olson for the pregame at 6:30. Kickoff set for 7 o'clock. Also Eastmont's homecoming. So hang around during halftime for the pageantry of the announcement of the 2024 Royal Court for Eastmont High School. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.